Well, happy New Year, everybody. I hope your new year is off to a great start. And in this video, I want to talk to you about the financial wins that my family and I have had in the last year in 2024, as well as our financial goals in the year ahead, in the year 2025. All right, as you can see here on the screen, in the beginning of the last year, basically on January 1st, I put forward actually 8 investing goals in 2024 for my family. And I want to kind of transparently walk you through it. I was telling at that post that I had done on Blossom app, talking about the portfolio size, sitting at approximately $556,000 at the time, and the 8 financial goals, which are listed here. Let me quickly show it to you. These are the first was more focused on self-development, reading at least 6 financial investing and self-help books. I did read 2 physical books, the first one being Reboot Your Portfolio by Dan Bartolotti, which I highly recommend. And in fact, I posted about it on Blossom as well as on my YouTube channel. The other book that I read through just before my travels was the Retirement Income for Life. Even though I'm still several years away from hitting early retirement years, that book was really an eye-opener and provided good insights for me. So those are the 2 physical books that I read. Other than that, though, I read a ton of contents in terms of on Blossom, really been active on Blossom, learning from other fellow investors. And on Blossom, there have been posts before whereby folks shared their summary of other books that they've read. So that way was really key way to learn about it. The other one has been through really listening to a lot of relevant, related investing in finance podcasts. Things like our 𝐁𝐈𝐿 as an example. Like it's one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to almost on a weekly basis. And the other one that I listen to quite frequently is I Will Teach You to Be Rich, but now recently has been rebranded to Money for Couples. It's by 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝐖𝐊 𝐁𝗘𝐋𝐎�. It's one of the podcasts that I really, really enjoy. A bunch of other kind of contents here and there episodes. Rational Reminders as well, one of those podcasts that I've listened to a few of their kind of episodes, as well as their posts on YouTube, like Ben Felix, and many contents on YouTube from blossomers, like the investors that I really look up to. Those have been some of the contents I've kind of followed, which was one of my goals as well. As you can see, it says actively contribute to Blossom, posting useful content that can benefit the community, as well as listening to favorite finance investing podcasts and watching favorite YouTube channels. Speaking of contributing to Blossom, I want to quickly show you as well. Last year, I was among the top 1% of active blossomers and spent a whopping 10,277 minutes on the app, which equates to almost 171 hours. But I would say I believe really strongly that that has been a time well spent because I learned a lot. I managed to contribute to the community, interact with a lot of amazing investors on the app, and many of my contents actually got a lot of reach as well, which is really positive to see and positive to hear. Overall, I contributed to the community by making close to 2,500 comments and also making 120 posts, which I hope has been adding some value to other community members here on Blossom. Going back to the goals, I want to quickly bring it to your attention. One of those goals was, in fact, actively contributing to Blossom, which I talked about it. The other one was reaching 4K followers on Blossom, which I'm really happy that I well surpassed that. As you saw, over 20K followers on Blossom. But thank you so much, everybody who follows my content, as well as anybody who interacts and shares their insights with me. I definitely find them very valuable and I appreciate that. One of the other goals, as you can see, the second one was investing at least 40K into the stock market. I'm super pleased to mention that we've actually well surpassed that. We put into the market close to $100,000. And again, I want to bring out the point that this was a unique year for us. We had some money saved up, and that's why we managed to put lump sum and hugely into contributing to the market. It doesn't mean that every single year you're going to have that huge amount of money to put in, but we were very grateful and fortunate to be able to be in that position to do so. And thankfully, it really propelled and accelerated that portfolio, which I will show you in a moment, the specific details, but just wanted the high level touch on that. One of the other goals that we had here was around putting in a total of $35,000 in terms of the combination of paying down our mortgage to both principal as well as lump sum payments total. we did make a deliberate decision of not really going after it aggressively, and instead only contributed about a total of $22,000. This includes our principal payment as well as some additional lump sum payment that we did. And the reason we made that choice was that we decided that it's way better off for us to invest that money instead in the market, and like not really accelerating the mortgage down payment as quickly, because the returns on the market would have been far better for our from our perspective over the long period of time, as opposed to trying to rush into paying down our mortgage. The other goal that we had here was reaching the 6,000 followers on YouTube. This is one of those other goals that I was not able to hit. Currently, at the time of making this video, I have around 5,100 followers on YouTube. Nonetheless, I'm grateful for all of those followers, the fact that the channel has grown compared to where we began, hitting these numbers. And a lot of it, I think, has to do as well with me missing in action for the past several months, not being able to make a lot of videos after my daughter was born. As you know, as a new parent, you have to put a lot of time and effort spending time with your family. And lastly, the other goal that you see here was around expanding my network and connecting with other investors, which, as you saw from the notes, I've definitely done that. I've been able to connect with a lot of like-minded folks on Blossom. And if you are interested to join Blossom, you can use the referral link that is available on the description of the video. And I would love for you to follow my journey and connect with other like-minded, amazing investors that we have on Blossom. All right, as promised, I want to get into more details of our portfolio numbers, where we began the year, where we ended it, and how much our portfolio grew. As you can see, in the beginning of the year last year, on January 1st, 2024, we had three main holdings: XEQT, VTI, and VT. These are all our holdings in our portfolio. We had simplified our household investment portfolio. XEQT was the largest holding that we had. I've transparently mentioned here how many shares of each one of these ETFs we had and what was our average share price at the time and the currency for these ones. As you can see, for XEQT, we had over 18,000 shares. Now, fast forward to January 1st of 2025. I'm so happy to report that we grew our number of shares by 2,787 shares. VTI is another one. We added another 36 shares of it, and VT, we picked up another 15 shares. HXQ was one of those new additions. It's a NASDAQ-100 fund, and we bought this year 126 shares of that. And you can see our average share price is listed there. Where these numbers land, if you look at it, our portfolio value at the beginning of last year was $556,597. At the end of the day today, as of January 1st, 2025, the portfolio sits at $803,609. That shows a portfolio value increase of $247,000 and change, which is just incredible. The beginning of 2024, and that day, our portfolio was showing a positive return of 11.9%. That's for the entire portfolio return. Fast forward a year later, our portfolio is sitting at 34.5% return. And now, if you take these two numbers, our portfolio grew by 22.6% in 2024 last year. So that's incredible return and to see for the year, and we're super pleased with it. I want to also share with you some of my financial goals for the year ahead, which are simple. I try to keep it quite simple for the year ahead. 4 major goals. The first one, and this is our first priority, is maxing out our tax-free savings accounts in January 2025. The next big goal is contributing $2,500 to our dollars RESP account in January, maxing out our RSP accounts then during the year of 2025, depending on how large that amount is for us. Of course, it might take us several months to do, but as long as we are able to manage it and do it in 2025, we would be happy with it. And lastly, if there is any leftover amounts, we would love to contribute and put it in our non-registered account. That said, we definitely always want to make sure we maintain a healthy emergency fund. That's always a priority. We don't want to put everything into the market and then we need the money for an emergency, then we are really having to panic. That's not how we do it. We want to make sure we build a healthy and sustainable emergency fund on the side as well and maintain that throughout the year. What are your financial goals in the year? I'm really curious to hear from you, whether you want to add into the comments on the YouTube post or share with me on Blossom. I would love to hear from you and learn more about your goals and what were some of your financial wins in the year. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video until the end. I hope you enjoyed it and found something of value from it. If you did, I appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Here on Momentum Finance, we talk about finances and ways to reach financial independence through a diversified hopefully simplified way of investing. Thank you, and I hope to see you all next time.